Number 96. Gold Rush. It's the oldest game on AdventureGamers.com's list to this point, as it came out in 1988, though it's not the oldest on the list, period. But does that mean that it has less charm or accessibility than the others? Well, yes and no. Take a trip back to 1848 and experience the wonders and the perils of a journey out west in Gold Rush. You play as bored working man Jared Wilson, who receives a letter from his long-lost brother strongly hinting that he's managed to find gold out near Sutter's Fort in California. And just like that, Jared quits his job, sells his house, and heads out for adventure. And he'll be okay if he can avoid getting riddled with arrows. I really think the people who developed old adventure games, especially old Sierra games, were complete frigging sadists. There's a reason the phrase save early, save often resounds so thoroughly among adventure gamers. You can literally die in an instant, just about anywhere. I walked into a livery and got kicked to death by a horse before I even knew what was happening. I felt dehydrated when I arrived in Independence, Missouri, and within minutes I had died of cholera. That's a random event, by the way. There's no medicine you can buy or find to prevent it. You just have a random chance of catching cholera and dying. Are you fucking kidding me? Not to mention, the game is absurdly difficult without random unavoidable deaths. You're under a pretty serious time constraint right out of the gate, as you have about 14 minutes of game time before the gold rush hits and prices skyrocket. Thankfully, game time seems to freeze when you change the game speed to fast. Whether this was a bug or not, it's a very useful trick. The controls are enough for 1988, but so many innovations have occurred since that it's difficult not to refer to Gold Rush's control scheme as quaint. Though, I just did, so I guess I failed. But yeah, they are quaint. Up, down, left, and right arrows to start moving in that direction. Press the same direction to stop moving. All commands to do anything are through the 2 or 3 word parser system. Just tell the computer what you want to do using as few words as possible. The graphics, well, they're impressive for pixel art. Keep in mind that this came out in 1988 and was probably considered cutting-edge graphics at the time. They went to great lengths to recreate recognizable and period-authentic recreations of 1840s life, and I'm no expert, but they apparently succeeded. The best part of this game is the details of the trip, which provide a rare window into the details and dangers of a cross-country journey in the mid-19th century. The game provides a wealth of information about the trip across the continent when you go over land, but you also have the option of going overseas or through the Panama Canal if you wish, and one assumes they've loaded those sections with fascinating tidbits of trivia as well. Gold Rush wasn't terribly hard to get running on Windows 7, in fact, DOSBox handles it quite well, but that's the only way I could think of to get this sucker working. Gold Rush is fascinating and interesting, but not for the game itself. The game is very hard, unfair, and I didn't really enjoy the puzzles or the story that much. But it's the exploration and education of a topic rarely covered that earns my thumbs up here. Still, if this were my list, it probably would have taken the bottom spot, if it made the top 100 at all.
Robert, do something!
Next time, number 95.